As of version 2.6, Symfony has its own installer, and this is currently the recommended method for installing new Symfony instances. Symfony can also use Composer for installation, and you'll have to if you're using 5.3 version of PHP or Symfony 2.5 or below. So let's look at how we install it using the Symfony installer. On a Mac, we're going to use curl, and we're going to go ahead and download the installer from symfony.com. And notice I'm going to point it to a file called symfony.far. Once it's downloaded, to install it, you simply move it. We're going to use the sudo command because the place where we're moving it is a protected directory. So we're going to move it to user local bin Symfony. Let's try that again. You need to specify what you're moving. So sudo move symfony.far into user local bin Symfony. Notice that you don't have to use the far extension. All right, so now it's been moved, and now we want to make sure it has the correct permissions. So we're going to run chmod a + x user local bin Symfony. If you're on Windows, you'll first need to install the installer. You can use this read file function of PHP to do it. Notice I'm pointing it to create a symfony.far. You then want to move the symfony.far file into wherever you're going to create your Symfony projects. Then you'll want to change directory so you're in that project directory, and from there you can run symfony.far using PHP. And this will work basically the same as what we're going to do in the Mac. Once Symfony is installed, you can use it at the command line. The first thing we want to do is change to the directory where we want to create our project. So I'm going to go into the documents, and then I've created a special directory called sandbox that I'm using to play around with these frameworks. Now you can use the Symfony command line, and you can say new, and then whatever you want your project name to be. In this case, we'll call it just test. And here it will download the full Symfony framework, and it will install it directly into this directory. So if I list it, you can see I have this special test directory. And when I go in here, you can see I have everything I need to run my project. If you're in Windows, the only difference would be instead of just typing Symfony, you type php space symfony.far and then new and whatever your project name is. Otherwise, it's identical process. Now we're going to go ahead and start up our server. And to do this, we can use the app console of Symfony. So we'll type in php app console, and this is the command line shell. And then we have a special command called server, and then run. Now this starts up the server. Notice it tells me that my server is running on localhost 8000. So let's go into our browser. So let's type in 127.0.0.1:8000. If everything went well, I should get the Symfony welcome page. And indeed I do. And from here, you will have everything installed and you can run Symfony. So that's how we get started in Symfony. We now have all the files we need to get started, including some demos and some other basic configuration. Why don't we go take a look and see what exactly we have and how we can work with it.